Ed, welcome to New Road. How have you settled in so far, and how's the winter training gone?
Oh, I've loved it so far. I think I was saying to someone the other day, I've been here a month, but it already feels like I've been here a year or two. I think I've settled in really quickly. It's helped that I've known a few guys before, the likes of Caddy and Richo from my time at Warwickshire and other guys before from my time here, but I've absolutely loved it so far.
I was going to say, you said there must be quite a few faces from when you were here as a youngster on the playing side.
Yeah, well, I found a picture the day I was showing Tungy when I think it's back 2005 when I played my first under-10s game for the club. Tungy was playing as a 7-year-old, and I still can't get my head around it because he was about waist high then, and now I have to crane my neck up to look at him about 7'4". But there's him. Felly was here when I was still in the academy before. I was at school with Barn when we were both in the academy together. So there's a lot of familiar faces.
What do you remember about those early days? Because you played right through, I think, to about under 17 level, didn't you?
Yeah, well, I loved it. I remember because I was at school in Worcester, club cricket at Barn Green. So that came in. I started at the under 10s and went the whole way through. And I did. What I remember is I've been doing everything. I opened the batting. I remember my first game, I batted 40 overs for 50. I couldn't hit the ball square. Then I kept wicket when I was 12. Then I bowled a bit when I was 15, 16, and then I did a bit of everything, but I loved those, and I'm still good friends with a lot of the guys that I played with from that
40 overs for 50, did you get another chance to open after that?
Oh, I don't know, I couldn't do that now.
How did the chance come about to be part of the academy in the first place?
So I think I was lucky to come through with the EPP with, so Gavin Haynes was very good for me, so I played the age groups under 10s, just under 14s, and I came in onto the EPP as bowling a bit of off-spin, batting a bit, and then it was just I think I had a couple of years with that. I did when I went to Bunbury, Midland stuff, scored some runs, took some wickets for the age groups, and it came from the academy for 2 years.
I believe our Vice Chairman Paul Pridgeon had quite a big influence on your career.
Oh, By the time, so I was on the academy as an off-spinner. I remember when I was about 18, I turned up to play an academy game. I batted at 12 and I bowled 6 overs off-spin. And I went to Shrewsbury School where Pridge was, and I think it's fair to say my bowling was never quite took off. I think I always saw myself as a batsman anyway, but I did a lot of work with Pridge. I think it's one of those where I say credit to him into a proper batsman. I could always hit the ball, but he refined it, gave me a few more options, and just a basic understanding of the game. And that's when I started to score the hundreds that turn you into a batsman.
I guess those satellite academy days are very important in your development, aren't they?
Oh, I think there's a lot of it that they put the grounding in place, and that's one thing. So I noticed with Jack Haynes today, he'd got a little notebook writing his notes in, and I was laughing to him because I said, "No, where you've got that from? Because your dad used to do that with me when I was 15. After every net session, every match, just review what was going on, and that's something I've taken with me 12 years on. I've got there's a shelf in my at home which has got 12 years worth of training notes, match notes, and that's all the stuff that started when I was in the EPP, and it's the getting the basics right that I've helped me from since then.
You spent 6 years at Warwickshire, you're 26 now, you're back at your first home. Do you feel your best years are still to come?
Oh, very much so, yeah. I think it's when I was first here, I was young and just enjoying it, and that kind of 6 years I've had at Warwickshire, I've learnt a hell of a lot. Ups and downs through it all, but I think I've come out of it as good an understanding of my game as I've ever had. The kind of, how do I want to play, how do I need to train to play that way, what gets me in the right kind of headspace and what gets me playing well. And I think you look at those kind of batsmen, you'd say is the later 20s are when they're going to really hit their peak. So I think it's with that understanding I've got of my game now and the work I'm doing with the coaches and the backing they're giving me, it's exciting.
Now in the Vitality Blast you've got a strike rate of 161. How much are you looking forward to playing with Mo and Matthew Wade? I mean, it's quite a powerful top order.
I was very excited when I was first chatting to Pridge and they're saying that Wade was signing, and obviously I've played against Mo. I was like, as much as anything, I'm going to enjoy turning up every day, going to stand at the other end and watching those two. I think it's interesting. I'll sit on YouTube and watching batsmen and just look what they do, and it is two of the batsmen I watch are Mo and Wade. So yeah, as much as I'll be telling them to do well myself, it'd be great to just be standing 22 yards away from those two and watch.
Did you watch Wade's innings at the weekend? 93 or 46 balls. I mean, yeah, it sort of whets your appetite a bit.
It does. It's great. It's great fun. And then I saw some of Mo in the T10, and I'm just so excited to watch them.
you've got tremendous power when you hit the ball over the boundary. How did you develop that, and do you know what your biggest six is in terms of metres?
In terms of, it's interesting when I talked to an old coach I had when I was, I think it was 14. I think to the age of 14 I couldn't hit the ball for the square, and then I remember hitting six and that's quite, so actually, and I think I've always had that pick up on the leg side. It's one of those where I've never had to train that, but I think Bridge was when I first started working on a lot of the hitting the ball straighter and picking up the back of the length stuff, and then from there I've had to work on it a hell of a lot, because I did see it as a way it was. Everyone grooves their drives, all the other drills. But I was like, if I'm going to want to work on expanding that. I did a lot of work at Warwickshire, and I've continued doing it now down here. Biggest six-wise, there's a couple. I stopped. There was one against Notts last year when I hit one onto the roof of Holly Stand. But the one that always sticks into my mind was second ball in the Oval, 2017. I got one off Jay Dernbach when I swept it, and I still remember hitting it, just being extremely surprised at how far it had gone. But there's been a couple. But
it's only 3 years ago that Worcester, of course, won this competition, the Blast, and the following year they were runners-up. Do you think they're capable of repeating that sort of success with the squad they've got now?
Very much so. I remember playing against Worcester those, and you look at that, you had that top four, and there's like Guptill, Moe, Rutherford, Clark, yeah, and there's you're looking now, you've got Wade, Mo, hopefully myself, Dole had a really good year last year, and then there's always a strong bowling attack here. You like the likes of Brownie, I think still the best ahead of him. He's a really good bowler in my opinion. So you're starting to cover all bases there, and so it'll be exciting to mount a charge on that.
You'd have been on the end of a couple of those Mo centuries at Edgbaston. I mean, he's so destructive when he's at his best, isn't he?
There's a couple. It's interesting. I was always chatting to the bowlers, and it was nearly always a case of, well, we're not quite sure what to do now. Where he'd whack the spinner, he'd whack the pace ball, they'd try in a few bouncers, a few slow balls, he'd hit them as well. And most of the time, he was just a spectator when I was fielding, just watching it go. But it was obviously when you're playing against it, but as a batsman, you can kind of admire and think, wow, this is something special.
Who were your sort of cricketing heroes when you were growing up?
I think become a theme here. It's the likes of Trescothick, Lara, Hussey, those kind of left-handers that like to give it away. I think I've watched the Brian Lara 400 not out 4 or 5 times the whole way through. But no, Trescothick was the person I had a picture of on my wall when I was younger, and then Lara, and then from then I've just lots of watching guys and who just give it a whack now.
Looking at red ball cricket, you obviously didn't get many opportunities at Warwick, but is that part of your game that you want to take forward? Yeah, especially.
Yeah, really. I maintain I got signed off the back really of red ball cricket, playing minor counties cricket, scoring double 100 in that competition, and I have played the second team cricket for Warwickshire, and I've scored quite heavily the last 2 years, and it's one of those where, again, I feel like I know my game quite well. I've gone through quite a big apprenticeship, like 6 years of playing red ball cricket in the second team of Warwickshire. Never quite getting that opportunity, but I'm very keen to try and push that forward. I know, as I said, there's no guarantees, but the opportunities will be there. So I think it's very much just trying to stack up runs, whether it's on the second team, it's big hundreds, and try and force that way in.
I say, with Darryl Mitchell retiring, there's obviously a place up for grabs there.
Yeah, very much so. I think you've got, and then you had Ross and Ricky, didn't you, batting in that kind of sixth position. So I was saying, in terms of timing, where I've seen where I have opened, I have batted at six in red ball cricket. They're both opportunities are there, and the likes of Libs is probably now going to take on that mantle from Mitchell. I'm saying him. He's just observing him for this first month. He's a very impressive bloke as well, just on and off in his training. So it'd be whether they get to the opportunity to partner him or slot in somewhere else lower down the order. I'll take where I can get.
Obviously, we've got a new captain now in Brett Oliveira. How much are you looking forward to playing under him, and how much do you admire him as a player?
Oh, greatly. I remember him when I was first here, and it's just, as much as anything, just the way he carries himself. You can tell he's very respected in the group already. You can tell that, having been here for a short period of time, and just watching the way he goes about talking to different guys, and it looks like very much we'll get the best out of people. And I think you think he's got all bases covered, and you think, I remember he ran through us last year with 3 wickets in the T20. That year he scored absolute shed loads of runs in the county championships, and then he's always one of the best fielders knocking around, isn't he? So he's got he's got all bases covered on the field, and then off the field he's just a really nice guy.
Well, Ed, all the best for the future, and I hope it goes very well for you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.